Welcome to AI for Developers. No one's paying attention. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to AI for Designers. My name is Jackson. I'm the host. I'm also the organizer of AI User Group. What is AI User Group? We're a community of professionals interested in learning about the latest AI tools and technologies and how to apply them to our current workflows in our day-to-day. We have 3 fields we focus on. This is AI for Designers. Next week is AI for Developers. And in 2 weeks after that, we'll have AI for Marketers. So marketing, design, and software development. And all of these events can be found on our meetup page. Take a look. All the rosters and speaker lists are posted. So see what you think. We're also hosting an annual conference. You can register now. This is in January 29th, 30th, and 31st. We'll bring together all 3 audiences over 3 days, a marketer day, a designer day, and a dev day. And we will have a main stage presentation area for one track. The other track will be a workshop track where you can be trained on the tools. On the main stage, you can learn about the tools. So that's the plan. Take a look at that. We're building up the speaker list now. We are also partnering with Brembo to host a hackathon in Sunnyvale. If you are a data scientist or a machine learning engineer, a generative AI engineer, a cloud developer, an enterprise developer, or even a university student, feel free to join this hackathon in Sunnyvale, and that's October 13th through 15th, and the prize pool is $20K. Also, if you'd be interested in presenting at AI for Designers, AI for Marketers, or AI for Developers, let me know. Get in touch. That's my email, jackson@aiusergroup.com. And we like having AI tool creators, but also community members. So if you're working with a new workflow in your professional life or experimenting with it and you want to show it, get in touch with me and let's talk about it. Upcoming events, next week, AI for Developers. We'll take a week off and then we'll repeat the entire sequence. So AI for Marketers on October 11th and AI for Designers on October 18th. The dev roster next week is pretty great. Take a look at it. Feel free to check it out, even if you're not a developer. If you're interested in learning, it's a really good one. GitHub's going to be here presenting Copilot, which is an AI-powered programmer. So take a look at that. Call for speakers. So looking for people interested in presenting at AI for Designers, particularly interested in anyone experimenting with Figma, AI, Framer, potentially Shutterstock AI, image generator. Dall-E 3 was just released, and even Canva. So just looking at these options, doesn't need to be one of these, and it could be more than one of these. So take a look. I'd be interested. November 15th is my next slot, so be in touch. Agenda for today, first we'll hear from Austin, then we'll hear from Victor, then we'll hear from Jhanvi and Ketaki. Then we'll do community news open mic at 8 o'clock. This is by request. We'll have you guys queue up here, no particular order. Come up here if you want to make an announcement here. We also have the LinkedIn live audience. Thanks very much, LinkedIn, for being here, by the way. Make an announcement. And then we'll do pizza at 8:05 and some networking, get to know each other, and build community. Doors close at 8:50. Spaces stays late to make this happen for us, so let's keep that in mind and be respectful of the closing time. And without further delay, is Austin Bedford. He's a freelance conversation designer. The title of his talk is Building Your First Chatbot Using Voiceflow. And without further delay, here is Austin.
Thank you, Jackson. How's everyone doing today? Good, good. Who's made their chatbot before? Oh, okay. About 25%. Cool, cool. Who here knows about Voiceflow? All right, quite a few. So yeah, Voiceflow is a drag and drop platform that allows you to build conversations. So today I'm going to talk about conversation design in just a couple of terms that you need to know, just so that, because I'm going to be repeating them throughout the demonstration. I'm going to talk about just a little bit about like my history and what I've done. Then I'm going to show you the voice capabilities of this program, and then show you a bot that I made for the Portola Valley Music Festival. Of course, it's just for today. It's not really for the festival, but yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and you guys will like it. So yeah, yeah, I am a conversation designer. I guess I did not have that slide, but yeah, I'm a conversation designer. I worked at Salesforce and worked on building bots for Slack. Prior to that, I was using a program called Dall-E to create bots for freelance projects, and yeah, now I'm doing freelance again. So yeah, Voiceflow was created in 2019 because in 2018 the co-founders felt that starting when they were trying to build AI agents, and as they built more and more agents, they quickly grew frustrated because the tooling available to them was not good. I think that like I can speak for all of us that like in 2018 that chatbots, whether you're going on IVRs and you have to talk to AT&T, rebook a flight, they weren't very good. And I think that they're slowly getting better because people are more aware that conversations need to be designed. As far as conversation design, right? As human beings, we need empathy. We need for people to understand that we're having either a good time, a hard time, and bots need structured data. And conversation design is about making the two intuitive so that both of them can understand each other. So yeah, today I'll be talking about a couple terms. An utterance is basically what you say to the bot. And that, sometimes we don't always say what we want to have happen or mean to have happen, because that's in our intent, right? We can have an utterance, like when it comes to chatbots, we can do a typo. When you're speaking to, your devices at home, you may say ums or ahs or sneeze or whatever, and it's going to capture that. So it's going to have that utterance, but that's not necessarily your intent, right? Your intent could be to turn on the lights or something like that. And then a knowledge base. Knowledge base is basically a storage of information that helps the bot help you complete your task. And Voiceflow. What's really cool about Voiceflow is you can come through different titles and different levels to use it. So if you don't know any code at all, you can use the logic, create intents, use entities, which basically just hold information within a since the bot may need to complete a task. You can make shareable prototypes. You can publish them to a website. You can review the transcript to see if something is going well or if it's not going well with your bot. You can use APIs if you know a little bit of code. Connected to integrations like Zendesk, Zapier, Google Sheets, etc. And then if you're really technical, you can create even more complex integrations. And have it work with WhatsApp and just a whole bunch of other tools, and even export to things like Dialogflow and other conversational tools. So yeah, without further ado, let's look at Voiceflow. So yeah, I'm going to delete that. This is Voiceflow. So this is the canvas on which you can drag and drop what are called blocks. So these different blocks right here basically are what you would use to construct a conversational flow, and you can stack all these blocks to create steps and create a bot. So the first one right here, AI, is really cool. It has the ChatGPT symbol, so as you can assume that it lets you use generative AI to make responses, and then right here where it says set AI, you can apply different prompts to variables, such as what I'll show you in a second, to actually give the bot a persona. Talk is very straightforward, so whatever, it's like what you type is what you see. So if you type in certain text, that's exactly what the user is going to see. Same thing with image, or if you create a card or a carousel. And listen, this is when you want the bot to listen, or the user to make an action. So right here you can create buttons, and then like when the user presses the button, then of course it'll go into the chat. Choice, very similarly, it configures paths and lets the bot know what path you want as the user you want to go on. And captures it can capture exactly what the user had previously said. And just couple of different other choices that are available. And then you could also add if logic and different conditions. You can randomize the answers. You can create components. Yeah, and then there's the more technical stuff like APIs, JavaScript, and custom actions. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the bot. So whenever you start your bot, there's going to be this start button, and this is the only thing on the canvas that can't be deleted. Yeah, it's where you start from. So like I was saying, the most straightforward thing you can do is to add a text block. So let's add welcome to AI for designers. And I'm going to name that block welcome. And if I connect it by just dragging this arrow to the welcome block, if I press play, over here in the test area, you can see, hey, welcome to AI designers. That's really simple. It's very straightforward. But thanks to generative AI, we can be a little bit more dynamic with this block. So instead, we can use an AI response. And we can tell the bot to use ChatGPT 3.5, greet the users to the AI for designers event. And you can preview it, but let's just have the magic happen. So let's connect it and see what happens. Cool. So it says, hello, welcome to the AI for Designers event. We're excited to have you here and look forward to exploring ways in which artificial intelligence is transforming the field of design. And just real quick, can you guys see in the back, or should I zoom in closer? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And that's good. But let's get a response. So I'm going to add another text block here and ask the user, how can I help? And what's cool about all the generative stuff that this program has now is before, as a conversation designer, I'd have to think about 5 or 7 different ways that I could say it. But right now, if I click on generate and I click generate 5 variants, it's going to give me the option to use these variants as well, and it's going to switch through them automatically. I don't have to do anything myself. But yeah, I just want to make sure that they're good and I actually approve of them. So, what can I do for you? What can I assist with? What do you need help with? Yeah, these all look good. So I'm going to press Control or Command and return, and it accepts all of them. So now, when we go back and we press play, it's going to, have exactly what we typed on, and it says, what do you need help with? Now, this is a pretty good start, but if I'm being honest, I think that this response is a little bit too verbose, and I'd like to add some customization to that. So here in the system, if I wanted to give it a little bit of personality, I could say, you're a charismatic host that's brief and concise. So yeah, I could also preview that just to make sure that it's actually going to give us a smaller dialogue, which it actually didn't. But
You said charismatic. You misspelled charismatic. Is that bad?
oh, I did? I think it does. Yeah, thank you. All right. So let's try that again. Well, yeah, either way, it got smaller. So cool. Let's test it again. And as you can see, it changed again because we have the variety of different answers right here. So it says, how can I help? And that's good. So there's lots of ways that we can continue this. I think the fastest way, if you're building your first bot, is to actually just go straight to the buttons. So I'm going to drag the buttons block right here. And I'm going to, actually, I'd actually like to open up for you guys. So if we were making a bot for this event, what would you want to know? Like you're at home and maybe you don't want to go through all the website or the meetup, like what would you ask?
Or the presenters.
Okay. So I'm going to bring out this little notepad. Who are the presenters? All right, anyone else? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, and just like the basics too, right? Like, what time does it start? Where is it, right? I'll just write logistics. All right, so I'm going to have some buttons, and I'm going to add those. So, what time does it start? Who's presenting? All right, so I think a lot of you can guess that if I now go in here and I press on like, what time does it start? Who's presenting? The bot's not going to know. It should actually give an answer that says like that I can't answer that. Let me try the preview. Well, try it one more time. Or I can ask maybe, what time does it start? Oh, you know what? I completely forgot this. So we have to train the bot first. And training helps give it a better idea of what we're actually asking it. So I'm going to press train assistant. And it should, give the usual ChatGPT response like, hey, I can't help you with that. Who's present? So who's presenting at the event? Okay, good. So now I at least got some kind of answer. It's not going to give us the right answer we need because it doesn't know, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our meetup group webpage, and then I'm going to go into the knowledge base and add data source. So I can just copy and paste the meetup link, and after it's there, now our bot has a point of reference to what we're talking about. So now I'm going to go to start again. Now if I say, what time does it start? Hold on, something's not connected here. 1 second. All right. So greet the user, then after greet the user. Disconnected, how can I help? And then we have our buttons. All right, so let's try this again. Oh, come on. Sorry, I know these things happen. I'm not quite sure why it's not connecting. Oh, sorry, it's not working because I did not connect it to the knowledge base, and also sorry, 1 second. How can I help there? All right, so I'm going to create an intent. I'm going to call the intent start our logistics. So when, or location and time. So when the user utterance has to do with location and time, where is it? When does it start? Where is it at? I'm going to generate the rest. So now I'm going to create this intent. So now I have a location and time intent. I'm going to train the assistant with these new utterances that we've added. It trains the bot with the new utterances. So I said, like, what time is it? Where is it at? It's adding these things and all the different variations that could possibly be created from it. So let's try again. Yeah. So I'm going to prompt it to answer. Okay, see, sorry, that's what I was missing. I'm sorry, I was forgetting the AI response. So right now it's saying that it can't answer that question because I haven't connected it to the knowledge base. But once I connect it to the knowledge base, and I say, or ask the bot, what time does it start? It says the event starts at 6 p.m. and the location is listed on the meetup event page, but I would rather actually say the address itself, which it did earlier, like today in testing, but yeah. Now I can do the exact same thing here. So I'm going to do another AR response. I'm going to say, tell user who's speaking. And it should tell, so it should say right here, now that I've connected again to the knowledge base and not just to the AI model, who's speaking. So there you go. And that's all just because I added the URL link. So, sorry, and I apologize. The thing that was missing in the very beginning is I didn't have the AI response. So if I had the AI response, it would have been working from the very beginning. So yeah, really quickly, that just shows how you can actually connect to ChatGPT and just connect with something as simple as a URL, a PDF. Let me double check to see what the other options are. A PDF, a document, or a sitemap, and you can have the bot pull that information and you combine it with ChatGPT to answer questions. And it doesn't really take that much work. So that quickly you can start a bot, and then you could actually put it on your website or make it for your business just that easily.
Austin, do you want to try? Do you want to start a quick Q&A?
Sorry.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that time had gone by so quickly. This always happens. So what I did, what I'd like to show you guys is I made a bot using the information from Bertola. And I would show you the background, but I mean, you could come up to me and I could show you like the different logic and stuff that I did. But I made it really quickly, so 1 second. So yeah, I made it so that it speaks like millennial. So it says, "What's up, fam?" And uses slang. How you living? And I made it so you could ask it open questions. So you could say, ask any question about the festival. So like, can I bring water? And it says, yes, you can. Up to one liter. It's time. Okay, 3 minutes. Yeah, general information. I had there's an intent that shows you like a whole bunch of emojis and also shows you like the rules and the policies. But the cool thing I thought about is if you're at a festival and like maybe you're alone or you don't know the artist and you want to know who you should see, it asks, tell me the artist you'd like to you like or an electronic subgenre, and I'll do the best to give you recommendations. So if you type in house, it gives you artists that are playing that day, the stage that they're at, and the time. And 2 more minutes. And what's also pretty cool is with this chatbot, you could get feedback. So I have something here called vibe check. So maybe you got like a notification that says, hey, how are you doing? Like, are you feeling it? How's the concert? And if you do 5, which is really good, as are the best answer, and it asks you why did you give such a great score? And you could say the music, or you could say a specific artist. Either way, with data being so important today, you could capture that data and know why everyone's like actually enjoying the festival itself. So it says, awesome, keep grooving, and it provides them with a little GIF. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, 2 minutes of questions?
We can do like 3 or 4 minutes, probably.
Okay.
How long did it take you to put together the final Portola Music Festival project?
For this one, like about 3, because it's a combination of AI and the knowledge base. So the knowledge base gives them specific information like the stage, the times, and information about the rules and stuff. But then, the AI gave general information. So like we did artist info. So someone who's going to be there is Kavinsky. So if you don't know anything about Kavinsky, you could type that in, and it's going to use ChatGPT to get the artist information, and then it's going to go back again to the knowledge base to tell you about the stage and the time. So yeah, it says that he's a French electronic musician, and then says, based on the information, they're going to be at that stage.
Okay, and if you could just please stand, that way the virtual audience can see you.
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering, is there like a resource for like examples? Like, like if you wanted to see somebody who'd built a conversation for a specific type of thing to give you inspiration, is there like a resource for that?
Yeah. So I wish that I didn't have that problem with the AI response. But yeah, the Voiceflow is really good about like creating. They have templates as well as YouTube videos. So it's really easy to pick up because even if you don't know where to get started for the first time, there's just templates that you can look and like check out to see how it was built. There's also a Discord, and what's really cool is it's free to start. You have 100,000 monthly AI tokens. So it's kind of like credits to use ChatGPT and the large language models. Yeah, and it's $50, per month after that. But yeah, there's plenty of resources to get started and just to test and to make your first bot. So yeah, go to voiceflow.com, join the Discord. Yeah, go on YouTube and like be on the lookout also for, sometimes they do like live stream events and stuff like that. So yeah, follow them on LinkedIn and wherever else you can find Voiceflow content.
The CEO of Voiceflow, Braden Ream, is speaking at our conference in January. So if you're interested, check it out. One more question real quick.
Hi, I was wondering how can we keep the language consistent, meaning the tone of voice between the AI and knowledge base, because I noticed that on the last example, when the Voiceflow used actually the knowledge base, it was kind of different. It wasn't like a Gen Z slang anymore, it was like super official.
Yeah.
And here's like inconsistency and all of that. Is there any way like to combine both?
There is.
So it will sound more natural.
There is. So what I should have done throughout is to add, this is the canvas with it, but what I should have done is to add a variable with a persona, and that I could have added that persona to every single block, and then every block would have that persona and use the slang. But yeah, I only had it, I think, on the first one right here. So yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Let's give Austin a round of applause. Okay, up next is Victor Zhang. He's the founder and CEO of MyMap.AI. The title of his talk is Collaborate with GPT through a Visual Interface. And without further delay, here is Victor.
All right, thank you, Jackson. How's everybody doing? Very good. Hungry? I hope not. Hungry for knowledge? I hope yes. All right. I know this event is supposed to for AI for designers. Please raise of hand if you are designers. I want to know how. Oh, wow, that's a lot. How many of you have used tools like Canva or FigJam or anything? Wow. How many of you have made others to make presentations or like flyers in Canva for you? So somebody else has like made a feed for you. Okay, not that many. Just curious, what do you do, Dima? Just curious.
Oh yeah, I was running a web development agency, so I have guys who are developing designs for me.
Okay, so you are like a team leader, entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, so MyMap, we are actually we call it a AI native Canva for all knowledge workers. One of the problem we are solving is that not every knowledge worker is actually good at making beautiful visuals. If you ever struggle like how to make your presentation looks as good as Apple presentations, if you are that guy, we are here for you. I know that can be like lots of work. So by visuals, I mean like presentations, charts, diagrams, essentially any kind of infographics that can help you to express your idea visually. So just imagine a case, I probably like, this has happens to me before, you are being thrilled to have lots of like readings, notes, ideas, and you are trying to make this presentation, make these flyers, one thing I really want to do is, hire an intern, just do the work for you, and hopefully that intern is, smart and smart enough to make the good visual for you. But unluckily, it sounds like the audience from today, only Dima and the other guy from the front row had that chance to have somebody work for us. But we are actually considering us, MyMap, we are considering us as that smart interns who takes less than minimum wage and actually can get the work done for you. Oh, sure. Oh. What's that? Oh, yes. Okay. Is the solution too big or? Here, display. All right, here. Orange. That's for the.
AI can't solve everything yet,
Yeah.
especially HDMI.
Unless AGI has already been here, so.
That's true.
Was it too big or too small on the screen?
It was too big.
It was too big? Actually, yeah, if actually, because my slides was actually big. If,
I think this one should.
okay. Here.
There's some margins.
Let me try to. All right. All right. Back to MyMap. All right. So we are actually, this smart intern I was talking about, who can just get the work done for you. So how MyMap works is that we have this chatting interface. You basically hand it over your files, your notes, or like website as a context, and then just you give your instructions through this chatting interface, and we help you to generate the right visuals that tailored for your needs. So before I give you guys the right demo, I want to give a quick view about how we see there's a huge transition between generated from the generated by like AI from a UI perspective. So a typical user flow in Canva is that you open Canva, it lets you to choose the right visual types you want, and then you kind of having lots of functions you can choose. You see all the buttons. I have highlighted them on the right top corner or on the left. Then you can often find yourself, and then once you have the content ready, you can often find yourself spending lots of time with like styling and adjustment. So how we work is that here. Let me jump into right to the live demo right away. This is huge. Okay. Yeah, so this is our website. If you just go to MyMap.AI, so if you click Playground here, so everybody can actually try it for free. So how we design our product is that we remove all the UI components, not all, but like all the buttons or the functions you needed to like do the styling, replaced it with a chat interface. So you can just give a command that say, for example, tell me the story of Steve Jobs as Apple CEO. And you hit enter. First thing we do is we parse through the prompt. We're trying to figure out what kind of visual you will like. Second, we will decide like what's the best visual type suit for your needs. And then in this case, it kind of generates like a visual deck for you. So as you can see here, AI is doing all the work live here. It's kind of like a video. Oh, sorry, visual deck, yeah. And once it takes like a 30 seconds to generate, and we use Bing search or Dall-E to figure out an like image for it. Once you have it, we have this presentation mode. If you hit this, you can hit next. So basically, our tool, you can generate like a deck, a visual story in our tool as well, and you can just go through the slides. And if you want to really zoom into something, you just click on any element, it will kind of like flies over to you. Just some core UI components, UI experience we are doing. That is just one example on what we can do. Second, I'm going to show you here. Let me. oh, this is big. Let me give you, oh, this is too big. All right. So another example I'm going to show here today is that you actually can give a website as a context. So basically, say, Austin. Where's Austin? All right. Yeah. Austin was doing Voiceflow. So let's make a Voiceflow as an example. So what we can do is that make me a pitch deck based on my website, and you just fill in the URL and hit enter. So we will, first of all, again, parse the prompt. We will actually extract the URL, and we will crawl the website to get the right context for you. And the crawling website really takes like 10, 15 seconds, depending on the website. And now it's recognized, the prompt you are typing in, we're supposed to generate like a deck for you. And here you go. So basically, if you throw in a URL, we will crawl the website for you as a context, and you throw in your prompt, so we will do the work for you. So yeah. Okay, so with the right, like say the title, Voiceflow Revolutionizing Conversational AI. Wow, okay. That sounds pretty big. Yeah. And yeah, that's the example that you can give our AI the context through a URL. If you go to our website, we actually built so many visual use cases. There are a lot of them here, as you can see. Let's jump in by category. Is that too big? Here, let me zoom in a little bit. So we actually built lots of use cases. So how MyMap works is that we are not limiting ourselves as a presentation or as a flyer. You can do like mind maps, or you can do like brainstorms. You can do SWOT analysis. And we also have a bunch of lots of free tools that say you can turn any website into a visual story. You can actually create like AI cheat sheet if you are a student here. You can create a tutorial based on your idea. And yeah, SWOT map you can generate. You can, like, if you are working as a consultant, you can throw in your idea. AI will try to visualize the SWOT analysis for you. Yeah. So here, there's one more thing I want to show you is that the way we here. Let me just here. Here, let me show you another prompt. So maybe something like, help me to brainstorm how a conversational AI can be used. Oh, let me brainstorm some use cases. That's why. Brainstorm some use cases for conversational AI. All right. And okay, now it's figured out it's do the brainstorming work, and it's supposed to generate a couple of sticky notes here. And I just want to point out the whole map is collaborative. So if you are working as a team, like the whole team can jump into your into a map, and people doing different brainstorms. And once you are done, maybe after like through a team discuss, if you select, we have a nice tool that you can once you have the result from your brainstorming, you can turn this into a mind map, which looks more structural. Here, let me zoom in really quick. Or you can select and then turn the content into a visual story. So the whole idea is that we build this really flexible, basically a visual medium that you can have your idea ready, and we help you to brainstorm, we help you to figure out the right way to visualize it, and you can transform them through like between different visual types that best suitable for your needs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's our product. And let me jump back to my slides. Here. So a quick comparison from Canvas and say you are making a presentation on Canva or on MyMap. So we actually try to streamline the process of, to do the brainstorm. You do not need to figure out which visual types you want to choose, and you simply just hand out the prompts, what you like, and we are acting as the AI assistant that just solve your needs. Let me brag a little bit. I will keep this part really short. So we launched our project in April, and the response from the market was better than we thought. We quickly gained our first 1,000 paid users and grew to 10,000 MRR in just 45 days. All this achievement was done without spending a single dollar on marketing. So basically, we just do a couple of launch and we try to grow from word of mouth. And a really big thing here is that since we have this chat interface, you can just create content. We find out it's really easier for users to create, especially for new users to create contents in the first 30 minutes of sign up. The thing really important here is that if you are building a tool like productivity tools, you are really trying to get your customers to create some contents on your platform fast. And with AI, with the chat interface, you can just type in the prompt, so you can, like I just showed in the live demo, so the users can get something out from their idea really quick. Usage-wise, by September, we had about 4,000 users so far. About a third of them are active paying customers. They have in total created about 120,000 maps with over 2 million visual blocks. And we have growing at a 20% monthly rate. Before I end, I want to share some 3 know-hows I really learned from talking to our customers during the last 4 or 3 months. So we are in the market of productivity tools. As you know, most people, humans are just lazy. I mean, doing work is, quite tiring, but instead of giving out instructions, just have somebody else to do the work for you. That just feels easier, and just efficient. So we are actually trying to create this experience more to having somebody else to do the work for you. So our vision is to we see that AI is creating this scalable assistant service to every knowledge worker out there. So they can kind of more focused on their brain works instead of tedious works like to styling their presentations, to styling their flyers, those kind of work. Second, I really want to point out is that, as you can see here, we removed lots of UI components, lots of buttons from like traditional design tools like Canva. So why we built this is that we say most software PMs, they design this really dedicated like UI components, toggle, select, like buttons, so users can perform tasks by interacting with those UI components. So these UI components, in my opinion, they build up this really high learning curve that everybody has to learn a new software before using them. I think how I see AI native from a design point of view is that for the first time, large language model can understand what a user wants through our language, which language we have learned as before 3. So they don't have to learn a software before. So it is really important here that from a user perspective, in the past you have to understand how software works. Now software can understand you through language. Yeah. So my personal prediction is that the cost for learning new softwares were mostly likely to be diminished thanks to LLM. And the third know-how, software, I think, in my opinion, used to be built by just lots of functions, lots of features. And I see, here is that we are going through this revolution that software is more focused on user experience. So today, AI is capable enough to perform tasks such as writing deck or like creating visuals by itself. So users are realizing, at least our paying customers are realizing, is that instead of them doing the work, they can just more of like piloting AI to do the work for them, and then just by providing the right context and the prompt. And that's all. Yeah, if you're interested, feel welcome to connect me through LinkedIn, and I will take any questions. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's do some Q&A. And just please stand, and when you're done speaking, if you can, just pass the mic either back to me or actually to the next person, even better, to keep the momentum going.
Quick question. How does this export? Does it only go to Canva, or how can I create something that allows me to continue editing?
Here, let me show you really quick instead of me telling you. So the first thing is really simple. You can generate like a public link. If you go to the map and click the publish, we generate a public for you. You can share with everybody, or you can share. We support export to PNG. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's a PPT. Oh, here. 1 sec. Yeah. So yeah, here. Yeah. As you can see here, there's a share button on the top right corner. What you can do, if you click the link you can invite your team to your map. Just click the first link, copy the link, send to them. Second, you can click the publish to the web. So we generate this public URL you can share with everybody. Third, you can export to an image or a PDF. We actually support 2K, 4K, 8K resolutions. Yeah, so there's various way of doing so. One thing I do want to point out is that the public sharing thing is we have lots of interactiveness built in our app. For example, in this mind map, if you click this root node, it's automatically like kind of having this animation flies over to you, and you can click the children nodes from the links here. So you can kind of having this clicking through the hyperlinks to navigate through a hierarchical tree. But if you like trying to export them to like a PDF, say, you will lose this interactiveness. So we do try to this is actually one of our favorite features. Lots of students for like note-taking apps. Note-taking to users, they love this like bi-directional link of navigating through mind maps. So yeah, so public URL, PDFs, images, we all support them. Yeah.
So first of all, congrats on your 1,000 users. That's
thank you.
Awesome. That's a crazy traction, especially with the word of mouth. And the question is, what is the main use case that you see with the users that are already there? Is it like connecting the manager with the person who's executing the task, or is it something else?
Yeah. So first of all, this is really good. Yeah. So this is really good question. I have to admit this. It is actually one of our biggest challenges so far. As you can see here, we target knowledge workers. Basically, I think our job is, as I mentioned on the first slide, we try to solve this issue that to let everybody who's not good at visuals, we try to help them. And we see so many knowledge workers, including students, teachers, they try to create like syllabus, marketing people, they try to create like strategies for their marketing campaigns. Entrepreneur trying to use it to make a DAX, trying to brainstorm. We see so many of them. In general, I do see a pattern that people try to use our tools to help them to visualize their ideas, and in most cases they try to share with their team or share with their public. There are content creators that will create they turn their blogs into a deck, into something visual, and then use our public URL as part of their website. So there are a lot. So far, from the data point of view, I do not see any scenario that takes like over 30% of our use cases. That just statistic point, like speaking statistically. But how we see is that, from the people who solve open-ended problem, having this AI copilot to help you to visualize your idea and eventually share their idea. That's the patterns we're seeing here. So yeah, so right now we're actually more of like B2C stats. Besides students, actually most of our users use us for their job purposes, for their working purposes. Like as I mentioned before, say marketers, designers use them for a lot of reasons. Yeah.
What's Arc?
Oh yeah, this is Arc. Yeah.
So that's your application? It's
Oh
a
yeah.
desktop
Oh yeah. So
app?
sorry. Yeah. Arc is a web browser. So we are actually a web app. Arc is the one of the I highly recommend it because while always doing the demo, Arc is the only browser you can hide all the toolbars. So you guys, if you go to like say Chrome's, you cannot hide all the tabs or like URLs. So that's just my default browser. That's just a browser I always use to show the right demo. So everything is more cleaner. Yeah.
Another quick question. Once somebody has generated that mind map, how do you modify it? Can you drag it around or change it?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely. So how you use it is here. This is a public page. Yeah. Let me jump back to the conversation. So once it's generated, you can actually select them. You can edit it, and actually you can throw in more prompts. So if there's a specific node you want to throw in more prompts like improve writing or explain or summarize or just tell me more, you can just click and it will keep like expanding the topic for you. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can move them around. Yeah, you can move them. Once it's generated, you have like the full freedom, and you can. We are actually building a like multi-round conversation. You do not have to like say to change or update your data through the UI. You can just throw in another prompt. So I want to make this mind map more. So add another idea in this mind map. We can do that through like more chatting interface. Yeah.
Hi, impressive presentation.
Thank
Two
you.
questions. First, how do you find the right images to associate with the content you're showing? And the second question I have is, are you able to feed in other data that's not in the initial training data sets to provide extra content?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry, can you repeat your second question again?
The second question is, do you support adding additional data sources
Okay.
to enhance with content that you don't have already in the original data set?
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you the first one here. To answer you the first question here, we actually tried a lot of methods. I know Dall-E 3 had just launched today. Unfortunately, I haven't get a chance to. I don't think they are actually public available on ChatGPT yet. We have tried Dall-E 2, we have tried Stable Diffusion, we have tried Bing Search. We actually end up with using Bing Search. The reason is that, say, if you are generating a story about how Instacart just got IPO, right? Dall-E 2 or Stable Diffusion does not know the face of the Instacart founder's CEO. So the AI just have no idea. And then we often find out, just Bing Search is actually acting very reliable and just robust. Once you have this paying service, being robust is actually very important. So actually, if you guys knowing some best practice, or if you guys are working on a text-to-image solution, please talk to me. I'm actually struggling with this. I do not, I definitely see lots of space lots of room we can improve it here. Second question is, yes, I think context is super important here. So far we have done the easiest, but I think that's most popular is to, you can throw a URL, as I showed before, you can throw a URL, we crawl the website as your context. In the next month, we're actually launching new features. You can throw in a bunch of files. I do think having a context is very important because I talked about we are like this smart intern, smart assistant. You guys have probably know that one thing you work with intern is that just throw him a bunch of readings and filling bunch of context. That's what you do, and I think that's one of the major things we need to do with our app to giving our users the opportunity to through lots of context about their works. We actually we actually just recently built a Chrome extension. You can throw your Notion database, your Notion page into as context, and we help you to visualize that Notion page. Yeah.
I think we need to make this the fastest question ever asked, and then the fastest answer anyone's ever heard. But please stand.
Congratulations on your 1,000 paying
Thank you.
users. Where did you get your initial users, and which distribution channels have worked the best for MindMap?
Okay, I will make it short this time. All right, TLDR is luck and timing. First of all, we definitely have a core product that just looks visually appealing. That's the first thing you need to do to make your besides making your product work is to make your product looks beautiful. That's the first thing. Second, timing is super important. We launched in April. Back then there was this shortage of AI-related apps. So once we get on the market, there's this really cool tool you can create mind maps, presentations, and then just words spread out. Unfortunately, guys, there's no secret sauce here. Just keep building your product, make it look good, and then word of mouth. Yeah.
Victor, super quick question from LinkedIn from Roman Brown. He wants to know about the ethical boundaries that this technology pushes, and what ethical questions do you encounter? I suppose given what's powering MyMap, and how is that related?
Yeah, that's we actually encounter some cases. We have lots of Russian users and Ukrainian users at both. We actually try to test it out. So far, I have to give most credit to OpenAI. They do, and Dall-E too as well. If you show something that just words I will not say today, it will just stop working, and then we try to catch that image and just tell you to try again, and that will never work. Another use case I've encountered so far, which makes me proud, is that we have this user from Finland who's talking to us and basically he was arguing about like a discount, but her reason was we are helping Ukrainian refugees using your app to teach them how to have a life in Finland, because our tools they need our tools for translation and just making visuals, making tutorials on how to help them to fit in their lives. So we actually give them for free. But but for the startup, I think focus on product. But ethically, there's lots of things happening on right now. But for now, we're just trusting the big companies. They can do their good jobs.
Makes sense. Okay, let's give Victor a round of applause. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, up next we have a dual presentation, two sisters, Jhanvi and Ketaki. Jhanvi is the CEO and co-founder of Krikey.ai. Ketaki is the CTO and co-founder. And the title of their presentation is Bring Your 3D Animation Project to Life in Minutes using Gen AI. And without further delay, let's switch over. And here we go.
Sorry, we're just adjusting the mic here.
Is this okay if we leave it right here? Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a separate one now.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Thank you all so much for coming. We are really excited to present today, and do you want me to switch mics?
We just need because of the dual presentation setup, we just need 1 minute.
Oh, no problem.
30 seconds even.
No problem. We can share a mic too.
No, we got it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, it's working now. Great. My name is Jhanvi. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Krikey, and this is my sister.
I'm Ketaki. I'm the CTO and co-founder at Krikey.
And we're going to do a live demo for you today of our AI animation tool. We've been around about 6 years. We started as a mobile gaming company, built mobile gaming apps with augmented reality features for several years. One of our apps was in the top 25 on the Google Play Store. And about a year and a half ago, we started to have folks reaching out to us asking to help them animate their characters or to build a game for them. And we realized we couldn't scale helping so many people. So we started to look into ways we could reconfigure the puzzle pieces we had for our own games to assist other people in actually animating their own characters. And we ended up down this road of building an AI animation tool. So we have two components to our AI animation tool. One is text to animation, where you can type in a text prompt like jumping jacks, and we'll convert it to 3D character animation. And then video to animation, where you can upload a video, for example, someone doing a backflip, and we would convert that to 3D character animation. We then realized it's not enough to just have animations. You need to be able to edit them. You need to be able to bring voice to your characters. And there wasn't really an easy way to do that. So we built out then this no-code editor where you can add hand gestures, facial expressions. You can type in whatever dialogue you want and generate it in over 16 languages. So you can actually have your 3D avatar talk. You can also customize your own avatar within our tool as well. The problem we were looking to solve is this time and cost problem in creative production pipelines. Today, to create a single animation from scratch can take up to 5 days. With our AI animation tool, you can do it in 5 minutes. And also, you don't need to know how to code. And this was a big factor for us because there were a lot of the devs that were reaching out to us, designers that were reaching out to us, didn't know how to code or program, didn't know how to use the existing animation software tools on the market, but they had an idea, they had a story they wanted to tell, they had a vision for their game. And we wanted to help them achieve that. So our mission as a company is to empower anyone to animate in 3D. And I will stop talking now and turn it over to Ketaki to do a live demo of our tool. She'll walk through every feature, and then we're happy to answer any questions as well. Our product is available for free at our website, Krikey.ai, Krikey.ai. So you can come in and try out everything Ketaki is about to show you. And then, of course, there are other tiers as well that unlock more features as you get deeper into our product. But I'll turn it over to Ketaki next. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds great. So I've actually authored a piece of content for this presentation, which I'll play back, and then we'll walk through each of the features I used and how I produced it.
Is the audio working? Audio. We will fix the audio and then restart this. Maybe is it plugged in?
Try it now.
Try.
Hey AI for designers. We are Krikey, an AI animation tool. You can use our tool to create social media content, animated films, and more. We are excited for today's workshop. Thanks for checking out the Krikey AI Animation Maker.
So it took me less than 15 minutes to produce this piece of content, and I did it 100% inside of the Krikey 3D no-code editor. It all starts with the animations, so I actually used animations from our public library to produce this content. As we've been training our own foundation model for 3D motion, for every one data point we train against, we typically get out 2 to 3 high-fidelity full-body animations. And so we took the top 1% of these and then just went ahead and put them into this library. So if you don't have a text prompt you want to enter, or you don't have a video, you can still use animations directly from this library. I do also have a number of animations that I've made from text and video that I could also add if I wanted to as well. You probably also saw that I did add a few camera angles and camera motions to the piece of content. Historically, when producing 3D content, you'd have to understand programming and 3D world space in order to put together camera angles and camera motions, but that's not true anymore. So now we can actually edit these just directly inside of the Krikey editor. It's single click to add any of these camera angles to the timeline, and then I've clicked in here, you can see on the mid shot. And so let's say I wanted to change the field of view here so I can get closer to my character, I can get further away. I can also change the position of the character relative to the camera. And let's say I wanted to start the camera somewhere else. So if I want it to be a side view or a back view, I can do that as well. Or if I wanted to bring it back to the front, that's totally cool as well. And I can go ahead and zoom back in. And then if you want to have camera motions, you probably saw the camera was zooming in and out as my character was speaking. It's really easy to add that. All you have to do is just go ahead and overlap these camera angles and we'll take care of the rest. I also used a default environment, Earth Day here. We do have other environments and many more coming over the next few weeks. And then lighting, I used 3-point lighting because I was going for something more classic here, but let's say I wanted to add something else, I could do that. So we just added this for Halloween, sort of a spooky flashlight. Light setting. We've also got retro as well. And then there's a bunch of other options. So you get the idea. You no longer have to play with lighting settings or necessarily have a lighting expert to go ahead and produce a piece of 3D content. You could just do it directly inside of our editor. I did actually use the script feature today to generate a script for this talk. All you have to do is enter a subject and a title, select the language. We do support 16 languages, and you can choose if you want a narrator or a character to be in the script. We can support many different combos, and then you can go ahead and generate. And then once you have your script, you can convert it to audio. So for example, I've got a sample script here that I've made. Let's say I want to create dialogue for a character. I'll choose a different language that's not English so we can preview it. I'm going to choose an accent. And then there's a bunch of different voice options. And before you commit to generating dialogue or narration, you can actually preview what the voice sounds like.
Bonjour, ceci est ma voix.
So that's just one example. Again, we do support 16 languages. And what's really exciting about this, you probably saw the avatar's mouth was moving in real time while the dialogue was happening. So again, historically, you'd have to kind of manually move the character's mouth bones to get it lined up correctly. We've automated that entire process across all 16 languages. So let's say you're a healthcare company and you're trying to produce tutorials. You need them done in 8 languages. Before that process was fully manual. Now you could just plug it into Krikey.ai, produce the entire tutorial in 8 languages in here in less than a couple of days. We also have a number of different facial expressions. For this talk, I went with the idle expression, but if I wanted to change that, I easily could. So I'm going to just take this playhead back here and then add a couple of different expressions. So if I wanted a happy expression, I could add that. Or if I wanted something a little more strong, here's sort of a concerned expression as well. Pretty much everything in the emoji library we've turned into a 3D facial expression. And these are also synced up with the dialogue. So if your character is speaking and you want your character to emote or feel a certain way at the same time, we've already synced these up for you, so you don't have to worry about, are the lips going to match what the face is doing? We've already handled that, and that is also automated. We also have a bunch of hand gestures. So my character did have a couple of hand gestures. If we just come back over here, you can see I've got 2 hang loose hand gestures going on. Again, every hand gesture in the emoji library also available here. You can also add text effects directly to your project. So I'll go ahead and add one now. So this is just a test. So if I wanted to edit this, I could do that. And then, oops, sorry, that's the next feature. So I can go ahead and drag this around. Let's say I want to move it over here for better contrast. I can resize it as well. So very, very easy to add that. And then there are color filters. So again, pretty straightforward. If you want to change the color and the tone of your project, we have a bunch of presets for that as well. And then last but certainly not least, we do have a lot of different avatar styles and 2 different avatar creator tools that are plugged in directly to our 3D no-code editor. The reason for this is that, of course, when you're telling a story or building any type of project, you want to have full control over what your 3D characters look like. So you can customize as many characters as you want in a variety of styles, and they'll all end up in this menu. And you can rename them as well to keep track of them. And then you might be wondering, how do I take my work out of here? So what happens when my content is ready? So again, pretty straightforward. There's 2 ways to do this. So if you're a professional artist, you can download the character rig by clicking this button here. And then the skeleton of the character will download with all the animations that are currently on the timeline. And then you can take that into Maya, Unity, Unreal, whatever software, 3D software you're using, single click to retarget the animations onto another character, and then you can continue to edit them. And now if you're not a professional animator, you can actually record a video, and we support all the different aspect ratios for social media. Just clicking through here, you can see all the different previews. And so if you're in a preview and something doesn't look quite right, like you probably saw in 9:16, this text was cut off, so I could go ahead and move that here if I wanted it to be within the preview for 9:16. And then once you have your video, you can download it directly from our tool or share direct to social as well. And I think that's it. That's kind of a quick overview of our tool, so I'll pass it back to Jhanvi.
Yes, and I know this is an AI for designers talk, so as we think about use cases, obviously you can animate your character and take it anywhere you'd like, whether you're designing for a website, you're making a tutorial, you need to make a piece of marketing content for social media. So there's lots of different applications for where you take your avatars. But I know this was a lot of information, so we'll actually pause and see if there's any questions. And of course, we can revisit any particular product features that are of more interest to folks in the room. But thank you all so much for listening. We really appreciate having you out here.
Okay, let's start Q&A. And as a reminder, if you can just please stand, and when you're done, just go ahead and pass the mic to the next.
Yep. Thank you so much for the presentation. Really awesome product. And you already talked about different kinds of avatars, but can we try like completely different graphics, like more realistic ones, or what do you support?
Go ahead. You can go. Yes, so we have a few different, as Ketaki mentioned, there are two different avatar creator tools that plug in directly here. But what you can do is generate your animation and then download the FBX file, which is the rig or the skeleton of the character, and then retarget it to your own custom character in whatever software you primarily currently use, whether that's Unity, Unreal, Maya. So you can have your own character that you've fully designed and just take the rig from here. Of course.
Next question on Krikey. All right, let me pass this back. While we're passing the mic, can you just say a little bit about your development process? The tool is very powerful. You've been working on it 6 years. How have things changed in, say, the last year or maybe year and a half?
Yes, definitely. It has accelerated significantly with the AI wave in the last year and a half. So it's a very exciting time. We are just coming off the Amazon AI, generative AI accelerator program, which we were in this summer. I think there was 20 companies in that program, and we were really grateful to be selected. It was a great learning experience for us. Everything we do is built on AWS. And of course, as a customer, you don't have to touch it, but it means the world to us to have their support as we're starting to sell this also B2B to enterprise companies that are looking to train their own animation models. What we showed today is, of course, the customer B2C use case, but there's also lots of opportunities on the enterprise side, so we're excited to explore that as we go into next year.
So a fantastic demo, by the way, really impressive. I'm just wondering, what are the challenges in making it more personal? I imagine a lot of people will want to upload their voice and have it be reflecting their voice, and I imagine that's a technical challenge. So I was wondering, I'm sure you've thought through this, like, what's your thinking about those kind of technical challenges?
Yes, that is a good question. So and I don't know if you want to take the voice, or shall I take it first? And then
You go for it, yeah.
So for customizing your voice, currently we have lots of different voice settings that are offered through the tool that we've built on, which is Amazon Polly. In our enterprise version of the tool, you can, as a company, do a direct deal with Amazon Polly to create your own custom voice. So for example, if you have a celebrity sponsor or some celebrity that you want to have the voice in here for, you can work with Amazon Polly to create that voice, the AI version of the celebrity's voice, and then it would appear in the drop-down menu of our enterprise tool. So we can offer that for enterprise customers. For direct-to-consumer, we have lots of voice options in here that are provided by Amazon Polly, but don't yet have a upload your own voice option.
Thank you. Yeah, that was actually part of my question. So you don't have it set up necessarily for someone to just upload their own WAV files and animate from there?
Correct. So we currently have all the voices that Amazon Polly has offered us, and Ketaki can show the language drop-down, maybe shows all the different languages that they have. And then there are two types of voices that they offer, which are standard and neural, and I'll let Ketaki speak a little bit to what that distinction means.
Yeah, standard is basically a voice that hasn't really been polished quite yet, so it sounds a little more robotic, and I can actually do a couple of demos. I'll do them in English. And then neural is a voice that's been, well, there's actually a lot of accents here. We just released some more voices today.
Try the British or American.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of options. Yeah, so I'll play a standard and a neural voice, and you'll kind of see what the differences are.
Hello, this is my voice. Hello, this is my voice.
So you can kind of see that with the neural voices, there are more tone inflections. So if you're looking to gauge emotion or have the character sound a little more realistic, I think neural voices are typically what you would go for. We just decided to include them all because I think there's value in both types of voices. And eventually we might support audio upload. I think it's less of a technical challenge on the consumer side and more just a question of do people own the audio that they're uploading? We just want to be really careful about that. And this is a good way to kind of keep it controlled.
Well, thank you for that. I was curious also if you have been considering working at all with generative AI for music and incorporating that in as soundtracks.
Yeah, so we actually, next Wednesday, are going to be releasing a text-to-music feature where you can enter a text prompt and we'll generate an instrumental track. One thing I do want to say as well is that Jhanvi and I are artists ourselves. We actually produced a documentary film many years ago that we took to Tribeca. The reason I bring that up is that we care a lot about copyright and artist rights, and so all the foundation models that we've built and all the models that we're using have been trained only against open source or commercial content. Music in particular is very difficult. It took us a long time to find open open source music that we could safely use. So that's been many, many months in the making, but we're excited to introduce kind of a beta version of that tool. It's definitely not perfect because we didn't want to use copyrighted content for it, but it does generate a few good instrumental tracks that you can add to your content within our tool.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know if I misheard you, but you can upload a video and you pull out animation data from it. Will you show me that magic?
Yeah, I don't actually have a video on my desktop, but...
Do you want me to get the other video?
Oh yeah, I can, let me pull it up actually. I just have to go to the website, right? Yeah, what's the name of the URL? Okay, isn't it in here? Yeah, these are 2 examples of video to animation, and I think it's pretty zoomed in. Okay, cool.
Yes, so essentially you can upload any video and we would convert it to 3D character animation. And so you can see on the right side, this is a complicated dance move that might take a few weeks to be moving knee and elbow joints to get to a base version of the animation. We can output a base version in 5 minutes, so your animator then is just polishing for a day. On the left side, the backflip is a little cleaner, so this is something you could maybe take straight into a prototype or straight into a social media post. You can, of course, still have an animator or an artist polish it. And these are really good demonstrations of the fact that AI is not perfect. So we're not looking to replace artists or animators. We really want this tool to serve as a co-pilot for them. We are getting you part of the way there, but the end result comes from the creativity of the individual. And that's really what we want to do, is shorten the time it takes to produce content and make sure the ability to produce is accessible to everyone. And then Ketaki, if you can go to the Krikey.ai website, we can just show where you go into.
Yeah, let me just open it in you.
Perfect, thanks.
Tab.
And this is our homepage, so it's just Krikey.ai, and everything we just showed you is accessible straight off of here. So the editor is the first button, and then down here we've got text to animation and video to animation. So this is where you'd go in, upload your video, and we'd convert it to character animation, or you could type in a text prompt to convert. And then the bottom is the 2 avatar generator tools. So we have our own avatar creator, which you can click through to design your character. And then we also partnered with Ready Player Me, so you can design a character using their art style, and then that is also functional with our animation tool.
I've got a question from the virtual audience on LinkedIn. Actually, it's from Jim Rogers. He says, can you animate a still image reference style? It sounds like he might be asking if you can take an image and reference the aesthetics and produce an avatar.
Yeah, good question. So our tool is only focused on 3D animation, not 2D animation. So the short answer is no, you can't do that. What we do is we take 2D motion and turn it into 3D motion vectors. So if you had a video or you input a text prompt, our model is able to turn those into 3D animation. But we can't take a photo that's in the style of Van Gogh or something and produce an animation in that style. That's not really what our tool is designed for. It's just focused on producing 3D motion.
Great. Another question for Krikey. Sorry if this is repetitive, can you say a teeny bit more about the modification process or the customization process if you want to move into a tool like Maya or Unity? Just a bit more about modifying in that way?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So you'd have to be on the Pro plan, which is sort of our highest subscription tier, but you just click here and you can download the character rig, and any animations that you've added to your current timeline would come with that character rig. It is an FBX file, which is like one of the standard 3D skeleton file formats, and FBX files are compatible with all the major 3D softwares. So once you've got that FBX on your desktop, you just import it into Maya, Unreal, Unity, etc. And then all these programs have what we call single-click retargeting. So you can take our character rig file with the animations, and with a single click, you can add those animations to any other 3D character that you already have inside of that program. What I will say is that it does have to be a bipedal character to look the best. So this is any character that walks on 2 legs. Definitely does not have to be a human, because there's a lot of non-human characters that walk on 2 legs in games and otherwise. But for example, if you wanted to take the Zumba dance animation and put it onto a unicorn or a dog, naturally the bone structure of those rigs are very different from a bipedal character, so the animation's not going to look quite as good. But it's a pretty straightforward process. Download, import into 3D software, and then single click to transfer the animation.
So aside from the music being introduced potentially as a new feature, are there any other features that are in the works that you're able to talk about at this point?
Or templates.
Oh, yes. We have templates coming, which we're really excited about. Someone mentioned Canva earlier. I think Canva templates have been a lifesaver for us on the social media side. And that is something I think that would be very helpful here as well, to give everyone a base from which to start from. So for example, having even a template like this, all you would need to do is go in and change the dialogue or change the background, and it makes it a lot easier to produce content. Of course, if you want to come in and tweak and choose animations and build transitions and facial expressions, the tool is available for people to do that. But for folks that don't want to, templates can help them get to the endpoint a lot faster. And this could be templates for everything from digital invitations like birthday cards to book reports to social media posts and lots more. So we're really excited to be launching templates later this year. We got one more question in the front, I think.
Indeed. Donovan.
Okay, first of all, great presentation. I was admiring the attention to detail. I'm sitting here looking at the eyes as the eye twitches a little bit to the side and then the blinking, yeah, amazing. Is any of that environmental geometry exportable as well, or is it just the character?
Good question. So for now, it's just the character, but we may enable the whole scene to be exported later. And that actually reminds me, I forgot to show one last feature, which is that you can actually move your character around the 3D scene. So you just click on your character and then you can drag them around. And now if I click out, my character is a bit further back. And then I can also change what part of the scene I'm looking at. And I think particularly for these 3D environments that we have, that's quite fun because you can kind of change the setting and the way your story looks or feels just by clicking and dragging your character.
And do you have any keyframing capabilities like the velocity controls or anything like that, like fancy stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question. We didn't include too many detailed keyframe controls because we think the goal of this tool is to really expose 3D content production to people that don't have a 3D background, but you can change the speed of the timeline over here. So right now it's on 1.0, which is the default, but you can speed things up or slow them down as well if you want to.
Awesome. It's crazy.
Thank you.
Slightly off topic, are there any Gen AI tools that either of you are using either on this project or in your personal life or any other way that you are excited about or find useful?
Yeah, definitely on the social media side, we have to create so many posts and we're a really small team. So always looking for AI tools to help us accelerate that. We've been using a lot of Bard AI, and then Sprout Social just has a new AI tool I think I saw this morning where you can generate social posts with emojis, which is quite cool. So not necessarily visual, but those are really, really helpful for us and on the marketing and social media side.
Any code generation tools? Just curious. Have you experimented with any of these?
Honestly, not really. I think a lot of the tools that we've been using are mostly text generation. I think when you're a small team and you're trying to put out a lot of content, there's just so much that needs to be written, and I think we found that to be extremely helpful.
Got it. Why is it called Krikey.ai as well? Why Krikey?
Well, this was several years ago. Ketaki and I were traveling in Australia, and we had to file our incorporation documents. And we needed to pick a name in like an hour. And we were in Australia, and people kept saying Krikey all around us. And Krikey is an expression of awe or excitement, and that's what we want people to feel when they try our products for the first time, which still holds true today, 6 years later, even though it's a very different product. But we decided to keep the name as we transitioned our company to this tool, because we still want that emotion to be what people feel.
Thanks so much. Let's give Jhanvi and Ketaki a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, just a few final announcements. If you had a good time tonight and you enjoyed it, follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. We're pushing out new content on both of those channels, so check it out. Meetup.com, probably where you found us. There's a whole bunch of other events posted, and you can register for those right now. What else? Next events, designers in 4 weeks. If you like tonight's event, we have the full roster posted for designers number 7 on October 18th. So check that out if you're interested. AI for developers is next week. It's a great lineup. And in 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks actually, marketers number 7, October 11th. All of that is posted. So what we're about to do is start our open mic announcements. But before we do that, I have a guest announcement. And this is Sammy from Eden AI. He's one of our partners. He's in town. And this will start open mic. When Sammy's done, though, please line up, and we'll do open mic announcements to get networking started.
Thank you, Jackson. Hi, everyone. I have 60 seconds, right? Thanks. Thank you. I'm Sammy. I come from Lyon, a beautiful city in France. And I'm here to present to you Eden AI. That's not my voice, but I'm really, it's weird, but it's okay. Eden AI is a platform that's meant for you guys to have the full power of AI in a single place. So the idea is to let you guys create incredible applications powered with AI, but without needing to worry about which model to choose or which provider to use. So am I going to use OpenAI, Dall-E, or Stability AI, or any new crazy model that's going to be out in the next few months? Well, don't worry about that. If you plug Eden AI in, then you can switch between these different models and combine them for your product. So image generation and text generation are only 2 features we bring. There's also a speech generation, Norton synthesis, and many other things. And it's a very simple API that any Stack developer can use. And if you don't like to write code, you can also find our plugins on Bubble, Make, Zapier, or any other no-code platform. And we are getting or generating a lot of traction lately. We are getting like 1,000 new subscribers a week, mainly from the US, and that's why we are here. It's really simple. It takes 3 seconds to create an account and try all of the crazy AI features we have on edenai.co. So you can do that right now, and then you can pick a AI-generated sticker right there and let us know what you think about their design. I think I covered everything. Thank you, Jackson. Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot, Sammy. All right, let's do some open mic announcements. Come on up and, Victor?
Yeah. Oh, I just want to add one more thing, that we are hiring designers. So if you are interested in either part-time or full-time job, please stop by, talk to me afterward. Thank you. Thank you, Dash.
This is a perfect example of a good open mic announcement. So, come on up. Let's keep the momentum going. And when you're done, if you want to post in the LinkedIn chat for the event to follow up, feel free to do that, because sometimes people want to track these announcements. So by all means, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mark, and one question that got asked earlier is a really important one. How do you find your users? How do you actually get started? And so a lot of these brand new technologies, you have to think very clearly about how you're going to find your first users and then your second wave of users. And I've personally worked at Google, Facebook, and a number of other companies on frontier technologies in doing exactly that. And now I'm helping startups in new spaces to actually go ahead and do exactly that, to actually find their first set of users and then do customer development and then figure out how to develop from an MVP to a next level, both in the enterprise and the consumer side. So if you're interested in reaching out to me, you can reach out to me at the event or email me at mark@nextbillion.com, which is nxtblln.com. Thank you very much.
Mark, thanks so much. And don't hesitate to post in the LinkedIn chat as a way to follow up. Donovan, come on up. And if you stand approximately right here, then LinkedIn can see you as well.
My name is Donovan, and I'm in the East Bay in Alameda. I'm hoping to meet people. If you're from the East Bay, say hi to me. I'm teaching classes on ChatGPT and Midjourney on meetups every week, so let's connect.
Anyone else with, and thanks, Donovan. Anyone else with an open mic announcement? If you'd like to, yeah, come on up. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Zhang. I'm designer, interface designer, and right now I'm looking for a job. I just moved to San Francisco a couple of months ago. And also, if you don't need a design, but you need a development team, I also have a development team which do machine learning, computer vision things, and yeah, just let's chat, and if you need, talk to me. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much. And let's do one last announcement, and maybe two. 60-second limit.
Sounds good. Hey guys, my name's Matt. I am exploring a new startup idea, and I'm interested in feedback. So if you have a perspective on this, I'd love to talk to you afterwards. I'm really interested in the idea of all the data companies have right now on their customers that nobody really looks at. And there's so much time that I've spent in the past as a former product manager digging into user research to try to find out questions to answers that I think companies already have. They knew where to look for it. So I'm looking at generating instant, imagine you can ask almost like replica AI customer that represents your actual customers, a question and get instant feedback. How would you use that as a designer or in whatever it is you do? Whatever questions or use cases pop for you? If that would be interesting, I'd love to hear about it. So again, my name's Matt. Hope to catch you later.
Thanks so much, Matt. And let's do one more announcement.
Hey guys, so first of all, thank you for an awesome event. Very nice speakers. And my name's Dima. I am building a user watch. So it's basically a chatbot for analyzing user experience on your website and a new way to look at the web analytics. And we're about to launch in a few weeks, and I'm looking for early adopters, for people who are working with tools like Hotjar or Microsoft Clarity, people who watch user session recordings, or look for people that would be qualified for user experience interview. So if you work with UX research, let me know. Thank you.
Thanks so much, UX researchers. Okay, and don't hesitate to post in the LinkedIn. So the live stream is going to LinkedIn, and there's a comment section, of course. So just post a comment in there if you want, just as a way for people to follow up. You can watch this whole event in replay as well, but it's just a little bit easier like that. That's it. Thanks so much for attending. Hope to see you guys again soon. Let's enjoy some pizza. Let's do some networking and get to know each other and build community. Thanks very much again, and hope to see you guys soon. Thanks.